Don't know why anybody wants to go to the US at this point.
56% of graduates from engineering school currently are not employed in engineering area. I think the majority of the cases comes due to choosing the location. It's either location A or nothing. Time flies, time does not wait.
It also helps that the weather is way better and the food is way nicer. And I think the people are more fun too.
Typically, they would say how much I can earn per month as a student.
So when you realize that, okay, this student, he just wants to go there, I'm 100% sure he will run away and work illegally. If you could fix one thing about international student recruitment today, what would it be?
You can choose easy process, but hard result. If they don't get it, then we simply say, I'm sorry, we are not able to help you.
International student recruitment isn't just about visas or numbers or money. It's about humans making life-changing decisions with the help of other humans, and their work often goes unnoticed. We are bringing those humans into the spotlight at Dreammakers. Today, I'm joined by Abduboriy. Abduboriy is CEO of Edvisor Pro, and he has spent years in higher education and now helps students studying abroad through his agency. So, welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me here, and it's my pleasure to
I'm
have a
glad to have
conversation
you.
with you.
I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you. So, in 1 minute, what is Advisor Pro and who do you mainly help?
So, in short, Advisor Pro is about helping the people who are ready to make changes in their life so that they will be able to take care of themselves, take care of their family, and most importantly, provide good commitment and also contribution to this society.
That's what all humans beings should strive for, I think. And
Mhm.
you are based in Uzbekistan, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So, when it comes to Uzbekistan, what are the top destinations that your students are choosing today?
Well, nowadays, due to political and the geographical reasons happening around the world, I would say for the last 2 years, the shift of the students have been changing a bit. If you just compare 5 years before where students were heading a lot, that was mostly North American countries, that is US and Canada, like majority. And nowadays, due to huge visa rejections, the shift has been towards Europe and Asian countries, including
Okay.
Middle East.
Okay. So, where did you send your last student to? What was your last placement?
Last placement was to Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah,
What did they study? What are they studying now?
yeah, currently they're studying business. So that's a foundation course in business. And funny thing is that they still have got American dream to pursue their education. For that reason, they are enrolled in this double degree program where they have got opportunity to study 2 years in Malaysia and continue their studies in the US.
I don't know why anybody wants to go to the US at this point, but if they people still have the American dream, okay, they're allowed to have it. And I'm just afraid that when they reach America, those dreams will be shattered. But maybe that's something they have to find out on their own.
Yeah, I think part of the reason, like what I realized is when you go to different parts of the world, specific destinations are more or less popular
Hmm.
for that geographic area. For example, when I went to Malaysia last month, I came to find out that many students, local population, they try to get into universities in Australia or Japan. Maybe it's part of the reason those countries are closer to Malaysia. And in this part of the world, in Central Asia, US, UK has been there for a long time. And it's just, like when this country name branding goes out, spreads out,
Mm.
it becomes kind of this word of mouth, and everyone is trying to follow either their friends or relatives or someone.
Okay. So you said you were in Malaysia. What are you doing in Malaysia?
Currently, I have studied my PhD studies, so I'm a first year student. Yeah, so I'm a student, I am educator,
Hmm.
I'm counselor, agent. So it's good to have these three different roles, and I guess
Hmm.
that and helps to understand different perspectives.
I guess you're an international student now in Malaysia, sort of. So,
Yes, I am indeed international student.
did you place yourself in Malaysia?
Yes, like I was consulting myself and among other options.
Did you get a commission at least?
Yeah, like from one pocket to other.
Nice. Well, okay. I wish you good luck on your PhD in Malaysia. But for now, let's put on the other hat, the other hat as a counselor. So, how did you personally get into this counseling world? What was the moment you knew you built something in this space?
Yeah, first of all, the main reason was because I already had experience being international student myself, and I had a chance to study in two countries during my master's degree. So full time, I was involved in Latvian University, and then I was lucky to win Erasmus Plus scholarship and had exchange studies for one semester in Germany. That I think already played a huge role because I realized that when I someone has got the real experience, they are able to properly put themselves into the shoes of the prospective applicants, and from their perspective, they would be able to provide proper counseling and service.
Okay. So you use your experience as an international student and now you can, I guess, help other people with the same dream as you.
Yes, we are trying. We're trying to help.
Okay, I'm very happy you're trying, and so I guess there's also a lot of obstacles at the moment. So what is actually hard right now for you? What is the hardest part of sending students abroad from Uzbekistan specifically today?
Part of the hardship I'm observing nowadays is when someone comes for consultation to us. So for us, we first of all ask what they are interested in. So that means what kind of profession they want to get. So that's where all the challenge starts because usually people know the location they want to end up or they know the name of the program. However, they do not have clear idea what kind of specific profession they want to have. Then I start to explain to them that look, first of all, it's not about location or university. It's first of all about what is the profession that you are going to choose in the future. And as per the profession, then we try to go from there, finding the right program that would be able to get them towards that profession pathway. And then from there, we try to find out locations where this kind of program is delivered more or less in better quality. And the challenges to your question, that might not be the location that they would like to end up. I just give
Mm.
you an example from yesterday. So there was one girl who really wants to study in Germany. However, she would like, but she wants to study journalism, sport journalism. And the thing is, yes, Germany, as we know, is a huge economy, great quality of education. I tested myself on my own experience. But on the other hand, it would be also useful to check if Germany would be the right location to study journalism. And then we try to explore some other countries where they would provide, where this girl would have more opportunity, not just to study, but also to have internship and hopefully some practical work experience. And we came to conclusion that Spain would be better choice because as you know journalism we found out is better developed there and so that she would have more opportunity for herself for not just academic but professional development.
It also helps that the weather is way better and the food is way nicer, and I think the people are more fun too. So I guess it makes more. I think she will be happier in Spain than than Germany.
You
Oh,
know it better than me. You come from Netherlands, so
yeah.
yeah.
We know a lot about the Germans. Yeah, they are efficient. They are very efficient. They're not very fun most of the time, and they have the same weather as the Netherlands, so it's very gray and a lot of rain. And Spain has tapas, cervezas, and señoritas. I think Spain is a way better location. That's where people from my country go on vacation. So yeah, Spain sounds better to me. So where do students make the biggest mistake then early on? As you mentioned, they already have like a country in mind or a program in mind. So, do you think the biggest mistake they make is the country choice, or is it maybe their major or budget or timelines or expectations? What do you see?
I think it's a mix of everything that you already mentioned. As per our own observation, I think the majority of the cases comes due to choosing the location. Because, for example, like for some people, it just sticks to their brain that it's either location A or nothing, and they are ready to lose as much as it takes until they get visa approved to that destination. I think it's just the challenge in the mindset because as we know, yes, of course, like we can try for something that we really wish. However, problem is time flies, time does not wait, and throughout this period, maybe we might be losing some other better opportunities.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm trying to relate it to myself when I was younger, and I think I would make the same mistake, to be honest. For us,
Mm.
our life is still, our bubble is still very small. So if we have something in our mind, then it's hard to think outside of that bubble. I think, especially at a younger age. Now I can do it more easily, but maybe when I was 19, 20, 21, I don't know if I was able to do it properly yet. If I had my mind focused on one thing, I really wanted that and not something else. I think I kind of did it. In 2013, I wanted to get an internship in Korea. I could not
Okay.
find any internship in Korea, and then I actually I hired a company to find me an internship, and they couldn't find me one in Korea either. But they found me one in Thailand. I was
Okay.
like, "That's not what I wanted," but okay, I'll go check it out. The internship turned out to be shit, but I'm glad I took another step outside of my comfort zone, tried a new country, and actually it only reinforced my want to go back to Korea because now I lived in Phuket. It was already really fun, but I still preferred living in Korea. So even that experience helped me get back to Korea as well. So it's all
As
good. But I think I would make the same mistake back then. I only had my mind focus on one thing, and it took a long time to actually just accept it. Okay, I'll just do my internship somewhere else and just get it over with.
yeah, yeah, that's correct.
So of course all these students don't have to make all these decisions alone. So where do their parents help, and where do they accidentally make the process even harder?
Okay, yeah, here's the tricky part. I think it's also part of the mentality or culture, I would say, because in this, like in the area where we operate in Central Asian context, the majority of decisions still come from parents. I think part of the reason is because they are the sponsors.
Mm.
Obviously, those who have money, they make the final say. But also, like one of the challenges and frustrations that I personally observe constantly if an applicant comes to consultation by themselves initially. And because we know it right already, so as for practice, like they want something, but parents want something else. Of course, like our job is to help them to get as much information as possible so that their decision making process would become easier and faster. So, like as per their question, yeah, they get all the answers and they go back and they have a discussion with parents, and that's where all the challenges starts popping up. Because let's say, yeah, like recently, like one of the applicant came for consultation. All of his friends wants to study in Korea. He wants to join his friends. His
Mm.
parents want him to study in the US. And the funny thing is, they are ready to pay whatever it takes so that their kid would be able to study in that location. However, the kid is being a little stubborn because he doesn't want to miss opportunity to be with his friends. So for us, in this case, for me personally, what was challenging is so I was losing time, so to say, because we were constantly arranging one consultation after the other. And I see that time is passing. However, the final decision is not there yet.
Go to Korea. Don't go to the US,
No,
go to
no,
Korea. Okay. Yeah, I can see the parents' point and also the kids. And then also what I see in real life here is that when people don't have a support system or friends basically here, it becomes very lonely and they become depressed and they fail their studies as well. So
Hmm,
that might happen to that person in the US if his friends are not there or if he's lonely there. But if he
yeah.
has in Korea, or I guess it doesn't matter which country, but if he has a support system around him, then there's a higher chance that he will actually push through with his studies. Or do you think his friends are bad apples and he should stay away from his friends? Is also possible.
Well, like as I'm saying, it depends on people, right? Because some people they are kind of dependent on their networking. There are some people, like they're like a lone a lone wolf because they do not depend on anyone. So they just go with their own way, no matter what. For them, important thing is the progress, it's the process and the end result. So they are not people dependent. And personally, it's easier for me to interact with the second type of people.
I'm a lone wolf too, so I can see that. Are you a lone wolf, Abdubori?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I would say yes.
we should hunt in a pack. It's easier maybe.
Yeah.
What is then the earliest red flag that tells you this that a student might struggle later, like when they arrive at their destination?
First of all, it's about wrong expectation. So, wrong expectation, I mean, it could be related to, let's say, finding a job, which is really typical nowadays. I have observed literally those kind of students, they just get a cash that would be enough to survive for rent and for food for 1 month. And they kind of believe that they're able to find a job in the second day, and the reality might not match their expectation.
Hmm.
That's why I try to explain that yes, I mean, first of all, yes, working is allowed in many destinations, and it's usually 20 hours, like on a weekly basis. However, the thing is, it might not be as fast to find a job as they expect. So, yeah, I think the good thing is what we try to do is we try to provide both pros and cons of going to any destination so that they would have realistic picture.
That is good. Yeah, then they can make a more informed decision instead of if they're only told the pros that it's all amazing, and then they arrive there, and then yeah, then it's mismatch expectation because they thought it was gonna be all roses. Of course, I actually I went through your website earlier, and I can see your website has a big university catalog. So how do you keep tuition, deadlines, scholarship info accurate when it constantly changes?
Yeah, that's a little bit challenging for us. Honestly, we are not able to make modifications all the time because, yeah, obviously, because when the catalog is huge, it's hard to catch up all the time. However, in practice, what happens is when people approach us and ask us to find options for them, we provide up-to-date information from the university websites.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be updated on your website constantly. As long as you, when you're starting a consultation, then it should be. If you're able to find all the information fast, that is of the what mostly matters. So
Mhm.
then, what do you think matters most for conversion? Like conversion a potential client to a client? Is it information, counseling quality, or follow up speed?
That's an interesting question. In my opinion, really matters is information and of course the quality of consultation. Like in my criteria, follow up plays the least role. I tell you frankly, I believed before that follow up is the key, but now we changed our approach because what we do is we provide all the relevant information possible, the latest information possible. And what we do is we just tell them simply, so please save this information for yourself and please make sure that you will have consultation with your parents. And if you want to follow up meeting, please make sure that you will come back with your parents.
Mm.
That's what we usually tell them. Because the practice has shown us that, because in many cases, parents, because they are sponsors, they play a huge role in decision making. And for us, it's critically important to save our time in order to have this quality meeting and conversion.
Okay, that's a really good answer. Actually, I like that because I was reading in the news also today that people keep talking about speed, 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 but your
Mhm.
reasoning for not picking speed is actually quite good. So I really like your answer. So then, after a student and their parents they pick a university and program, then what is the next real bottleneck? Is it documents, language tests, money, visa, or commitment from the student? What is the biggest bottleneck you experience personally?
Biggest bottleneck we experience is usually academic side of students, I would say, because what is funny is let's say like, because, like deadlines, they're usually in spring. And of course, applicants, they have to finish their school or their bachelor's degree in summer, and they don't have their final transcripts yet. And then we At that moment, we of course calculate their chances as per what they have on their hands. However, as we know, that's not the final result. And even though when we clearly explain to parents and students that as per the information they provide at the moment, this is the probability of getting into university A or B, we cannot guarantee what will be their final results at their schools transcripts, right? And like sometimes if they are not able to keep high standards as, let's say, they promised us, as they told us, that would be the bottleneck. And of course, it's easy to blame consulting agency
Hmm.
because parents say, oh, like you told us this, but why my kid is not being able to enter university? Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe it's part of the psychology. People usually like listening, like initially they really like listening to only positive sides, and maybe they kind of miss some other information that could be, let's say, the factor that prevents, like from the end result.
Okay, yeah, it's not an easy job, and yeah, the parents they want to blame someone, right? It's hard to either blame their kid or blame themselves for not maybe motivating their kid enough. I don't know what goes through the parents' mind, but then you are an easy target to blame it.
Yeah, yeah, we are.
So, what would you say are the biggest trust issues in the agency space in your market right now?
In our market, because it was 10 years before when I started working in agency for someone else, but that was a short period, but I already had experience back then before my master's degree in Europe. And For the last 10 years, I have observed that this education agency market has been booming. One of the trust issues is because we have been observing there has been cases where some agency establishes, they invest huge amount of money in marketing and
Hmm.
sales, and they are really able to magnetically attract huge amount of customers, and overnight they disappear. And when this kind of cases happened one after another, like in general, the trust for, I would say, many agencies has dropped. And that's the reason that parents, they, like some parents, I like them, they ask like direct, how can we trust you? So it's easy for us to know that, okay, what are the expectations, what's that thing that prevents them from making decision to work with us, right? But in other cases there are people who are just silent, and they silently either just go away, and later we find out that that was a trust issue. But yes,
Mm.
like, getting back to your question, I would say it's just bad experience that people have with other agencies in the past.
So it sounds like they not just ghost you on Tinder, but they also ghost you as a client for the
Yeah.
education agency. Okay, so okay, I understand then that that is where it's hard for people to trust. A bad apple spoiled the bunch.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, then what do universities sort of misunderstand about what agents do behind the scenes?
First of all, I would say it's credibility. I think what universities misunderstand is, I think they are kind of really careful to establish contact because they cannot know the main motive of the agents.
Hmm.
So one of the biggest factors that prevents them from making decision or getting in partnership is their concern is the first of all validity of the documents. So they are really
Hmm.
afraid and careful if agents provide real documents, not fake ones. And the
Hmm.
second thing is if agents are able to provide the candidates that match the expectations of universities. I'm
Hmm.
not talking about academics, it's about intention of the students. I guess you probably heard in South Korea, there are lots of students from Uzbekistan. And yeah, unfortunately, not everyone goes there for the purpose of studies. And in some cases, we have observed that they just simply disappear and start working in some factory or somewhere else where it's really hard to find them. And of course,
Hmm.
that's a big red flag for university because they are the ones who accepted them, and they are the ones who have this responsibility, in front of the immigrations department.
They get fines. The university gets fined, monetary fines, and then
Okay.
if it's too much, then they
Mhm.
lose their, what was it? They're not allowed to process visas easily or something. Or it's harder for them to process student visas because they are now known as a university where students run away. So it's
Yes,
hard for the universities too. So
it is. It is. Yeah.
mm.
So you see, like everything is connected to everything. That just reminds butterfly effect.
So what is then the first flap of the wings of the butterfly that makes it now harder for Uzbek students to study abroad?
Yeah. You can know from the questions they ask.
Mm.
So typically they would say how much I can earn per month as a student.
Mm. Those are red flags when they that's one of the first questions they ask. Then it's like, ah, okay. So
I would say it's not still a red flag. That's like orange flag.
okay.
Why? Because then we ask follow-up questions. For example,
Mm.
I can ask them, okay, so this is much like the minimum salary. So once you just calculate 20 hours and you multiply it to 4 weeks, that's the like minimum wage you get on a monthly basis. But again, like I go back to the basic and I ask them what is their life purpose, what is
Mm.
their profession that they want to get in the future, and I ask
Mm.
them if they are ready to take this hard journey that leads them towards their dream job. And yeah, so, and like because you work with lots of people, I work with people. As per the practice, we start reading them and their real intentions.
So when you realize that okay, this student he just wants to go there and then I'm 100% sure he will run away and work illegally. Do you decide to stop working with the student, or what is your reaction to that? What will you do then when you realize that?
I just explained them that we usually work with people who not just go there just to find any job, but the ones who are able to properly study, get the right knowledge, and then be able to get positions, like basically like office jobs. Because you see, we are also on a mission because our mission is to help young generation of Uzbekistan to make right career choices, and we try to explain that because Uzbekistan is booming in terms of economics and has opened up for the last 8 years, and like economics, the business, there are lots of opportunities. So we try to explain all this perspective both locally and internationally, and we just tell them that look, you can choose easy process but hard result, or you can choose hard process but easy result that would provide more or less like more comfortable life.
Mm.
And if they get it, that's good. If they don't get it, then we simply say them sorry, we are not able to help you.
Okay. Good. I think that is the most ethical way you can go about it, I think. Instead of just seeing the student as a cash cow and just okay, I'm just placing you somewhere. I don't care if you run away. And I think this is the I think agencies like that think like you, those are the future of international student recruitment in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so because like again, it's the butterfly effect, and even like when people just go for cash cows, it's like it's temporary. It's temporary
mm,
because at some point they lose credibility in front of universities, and like once you lose credibility, the word might easily spread out among other network of universities.
mm.
As we know, yeah, we can lose money, but we can also earn money in a short span of time. But reputation, you build it very slow, but you lose it like this.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. I got to play the long game.
Mhm.
So actually, I had a lot of agents tell me in the last couple of weeks that they have a problem getting new leads or finding it hard to get quality leads. Are you
Mhm.
experiencing that problem as well?
In our case, so let me be frank, we are not big consulting company. We are small consulting company. We do not work with a huge amount. And usually, yes, initially when we started, we like paid huge attention to advertisements, both on TV and social media. However, later what we realized is the people to whom we kind of provided extra mile service, they were providing referral clients to us. And that's what we like the most. So I just tell you honestly, I mean, it has been working since then for the last 3 years. So we are being able to get more qualified leads through referrals. Of course, like, yeah, we like periodically use like ads, but as I'm saying, like it's butterfly effect. I think it's because maybe due to mistrust, because strangers don't know you, but people who are coming through referrals, so they know what to expect. So because they already have got trust even before meeting us, there is higher probability that they would decide to cooperate with us.
Yes, students trust other students. They don't want to hear from some guy like me where they should go study, right? So, and also they don't want to listen to some TV ad of some fancy looking guy. Oh, you should come here and I'll send you to the college of your dreams, kind of thing. So they want to hear real experiences from other students. And yeah, in this business, word of mouth is still the best way to go, I think.
No, because you cooperate with different agents from different countries. I don't know about other countries' mentality, but in this part of the world, word of mouth still works and works a lot.
It's everywhere where word of mouth is king,
Oh,
relationships is king, and yeah, students trust other students. Yeah. So
I
I'm
see.
wondering if one of your past students refers someone to you, do you reward the other student that brought the client to you?
Usually we do not, but recently, yes, we started rewarding.
Might bring even more students for you in that sense.
Maybe.
So you said sometimes you buy ads. Do you do any other kind of marketing?
Yes, what we do is we try to go B2B format. We try
Mm-hmm.
to establish direct contact with schools or universities where they provide space for us to have this like a seminar or webinar or like consultation or like presentation for their students. And again, this is, I would say, network effect in terms of because they know us, they trust us, and when they introduce us as trustable partner of some school, again, we would be able to generate higher quality leads from there.
Yeah, completely understandable. So you keep building the trust and the network, and then everything will fall into place. But it's a long game, not a short money game.
It is. Yeah, and the thing is, like as I was telling you, we are not in a hurry.
Mm,
We are not here to close our shop in 3 days. I
mm.
mean, we have been in the market for more than 4 years already, so it will be 5 years this year. We're not in a hurry, so it's better to go, just again, my opinion. Maybe not everyone agrees, but we prefer to work fewer amount of students, but we prefer to work for higher quality.
Good quality over quantity. Yeah. Okay. Let's close with a few quick questions. So they might be really random, but what is one lesson you learned the hard way building Advisor Pro?
One of the hardest lessons I learned is so before you establish business, people tell you that go for it. I'll be your client. I'll find the client. So that's where you should not be naive to just trust those words.
Mm.
So the lesson is expect nothing, but do all the best you can in the process. So trust the process, not the people.
Okay. Yeah, people suck. I understand
I
that.
can say that.
If you could fix one thing about international student recruitment today, what would it be?
First of all, that would be guiding students in terms of their career choice. That's what I have been observing for the last 5 years. Because in Uzbekistan, I give you one interesting statistics.
Mm.
56% of graduates from engineering school currently are not employed in engineering area. And that is
Where are they
scary.
employed?
Different area besides engineering.
Okay. So you're saying that for international student recruitment, they push someone somewhere into an education that is not in line with the students' dreams, I guess.
Yes, that's one of the reasons, and because it's complicated, and part of the another reason is there is mismatch between the knowledge and skills that they obtain throughout their studies and the skill requirements by the employers.
Oh, so if let's say a student is watching this, and what should they do in the next 30 days to improve their chances of getting into their dream university or dream program?
First of all, I would tell them simply forget about dream university or dream program. First of all, find your dream job. And then after that, you would be able to find out which universities could provide the best pathway towards landing your dream job.
I was thinking you were gonna say, "Oh, you should give up your dreams," but the whole point of this podcast is dream makers. But you saved it with with dream job in the end, so it's okay. It's not dream killers; it's dream makers. So okay. So and then if we look at 2026, what does a win look like for you in 2026?
Win for us looks like when we are able to match the expectation of students with whom we are already working, with whom we already applied and waiting hopefully for good results. Result is one thing, but also winning for us means that when they actually land the location of their university, they would say, yes, this is exactly what I wanted, and I am grateful to end up here. And this is the beginning of the great journey towards my dream job.
I think that is a perfect way to end this podcast because that was a beautiful answer. So once again, Abduboriy, I want to thank you for coming, taking out the time of your day to join me for this little talk, and I really enjoyed talking to you. And I'm sure you will make a lot of students' dreams come true.
My pleasure, Mark, and thank you for inviting me. And it was pleasure having this sincere conversation with you.
So this is Dream Makers, the human stories behind student recruitment. See you on the next one.